Hi, I'm back again. Now I've just got this jacket on just so that you can identify that it's the fourth video, short video this morning. Now, as I said, looking at what we've been doing, if you remember that video that I showed you, the 10-minute video with the board with all the pictures on it, visuals of the sustainable cities in paradise. Remember what the very last part of it was? It was the vision to create a happy future for our children and for our children's children, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. The reason for that, we say non-Indigenous, is because we operate out of the Indigenous Peoples Learning Network, ipln.net. And if we said, if we didn't mention that it was also for non-Indigenous children, then they would think that it's not for us and they won't come to us and learn. So the vision is about all children, regardless of your race, your nationality, your socio-economic status. What that means is how much money you got, how wealthy you are, where you live, the car that your family drives, or the suburb that you live in. Doesn't matter about a brush razoo, where you live. If you're a child under the age of 16, we are interested in you. And SCIP, our Sustainable Cities in Paradise, is for you. Right, when I created it for 6 to 16-year-olds to become 80% of all the inhabitants in each of these sustainable cities, the compact communities, and in the sustainable villages, 80% of the inhabitants must be aged 6 to 16. Because when I was little, part of the baby boomer generation was the worst darn generation to ever live. It's a horrible, obnoxious generation. There's about 80% of us were children. And then we had our under 16, we had our siblings, our parents, grandparents, etc., etc. But it was mostly children everywhere. It's lovely with all these children to play with. So what happens the moment I say SCIP in the sustainable villages, 80% must be children and young people, the older generation spit the dummy. They get really upset. I don't really give a hoot. They get upset because all they think about is themselves. They don't give a hoot about our children and our children's children, about whether we preserve our environment, about whether we create happy, nice, crime-free communities. They don't give a hoot. All they care about in a lot of cases is their stupid damn addictions to gaming, to gambling, to cigarettes, pornography, right? Drugs, alcohol, pleasure seeking. These are all addictions. And that's why I refuse to work with anyone over the age of 16 unless they are part of our executive team and their families, or unless they are part of my new breed of virtual reality music superstars that are going to be much, much more popular than any superstars that you know today or in the past, even the Bollywood stars. We need more followers because we're doing the SCIP Live Aid benefit concerts for Africa, and we will have at least 2 billion people following the 36 concerts over 6 weekends using virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality and hologram technologies. So, as I say, the older generation spit the dummy the moment I say, no, these communities must always be 80% digigen, 6 to 16-year-olds, the digital generation. So, and the other 20% are their siblings that get through the happy training curriculum like our digigen will. Siblings, which are your brothers and sisters, over the age of 16, and parents, grandparents, and individuals who've got through the Happy Training curriculum over the age of 16 because they got an invite from the DigiGen, and also the married couples without children. They'll get in as well in that other 20%. So, these obnoxious older generations say to me, oh, yeah, what about us? What about you? You got bad attitudes, you got addictions, you look at me, he's a nigger, or he's a Maori, he's a darn Kiwi, or, how many degrees has he got? What sort of car does he drive? Where does he live? Is he rich? These are the pathetic questions they ask themselves, and they look down their damn nose at me. Like I said in the last video, the way those young girls treated me with dignity and respect at the modelling, they didn't ask me for a free ticket. That's what the older generations do. Do themselves a bunch of mongrels. What's in it for me? That's why this damn planet is so screwed up. It's because of the selfishness. I'm going to do a video on the concept of giving later on, which is the opposite of what a lot of people today think and do. The happiest people are the people out there giving back to society, looking after people, caring for people. It's the best thing you can do, give back to others. So these obnoxious older generations say, this is wrong to not have us in these communities. Oh, mate. Why would we build $1 billion sustainable village and put a whole lot of old people in there with obnoxious attitudes? They're ignorant, they're arrogant, they're puffed up with pride, they're haughty, right? They're critical, they're cynical, pessimistic, rude, nasty people, spiteful, cruel. You know people like this? Are they cruel in the way they treat you physically? Are they cruel in the way that what they say with their damn mouths? Nasty people. That nasty cruelty coming out of the mouth is far more damaging than a slogging, than a whipping, because it can last you for a lifetime, whereas a whipping will repair. And there are so many nasty people out there in the older generations. And that's why DigiGen, myself and my rappers, we have the clean, happy hip-hop music and dance civilization, and we're very different. As our boys start off singing R&B, popular songs from their old school 65 to 85 R&B, swing straight into freestyle rap, without the gangster rubbish, without the violence, without the aggression, without the swear words. It's happy hip-hop. Right, without the nasty negative focus on all these injustices and things, that they're there. Why focus on them? We're happy people. We want our people to be happy people. Happy people attract happy people. Unhappy people, who do they attract? Nasty people, who do they attract? Cruel people, who do they attract? We're not interested in that. We're interested in the nice people. And I'm starting off with, because I'm moving out of our corporation that's been taken over by Fraser Tahoe and a dynamic corporate team to bring the vision to fruition through the through recruiting, training and refining decent, good-hearted people to live in these precincts and to work in building these precincts. So it's like with gangs. How do gangs start? With a bunch of nasty people. Attracting nasty people and attract more nasty people and do nasty things. They end up with getting stabbed or beaten and bashed or a bullet put in their head, and the beating and the bashing, they themselves do it in the initiation process. Mate, you don't want to be involved with those. You want nice people like Fraser Tahoe. Listen to what he teaches. Listen to what his people teach in harmony in our community. There's another organisation coming in behind us. George and his teams will provide consultancy services and some other organisations to help out DigiGen and their parents get themselves right. So this is what we're doing, and As I say, we're changing direction. We're not worrying now about this convention that we're doing, Sustainable Nation Building Conference. No, we'll run that out of our top of a skyscraper. We're going to focus now on going back to the 4-foot line, which is helping our children in crisis here in Perth, the 2,600 that are 12 years old and younger who are homeless. Now, Jerry Georgardis contacted me yesterday asking me, are there any young Maoris that are homeless, because he's got accommodation for them. So we're going to follow through on that. Any of you Maoris there that know young Maoris here in Perth who are homeless, displaced, couch surfing or whatever, contact us or Jerry, and find them online and under the Human Rights Alliance. Alright, so we're going back to that. We'll deal with getting the accommodation precincts here in Maylands and getting them off the streets as requested by the boss of Passages, which is the first point of call for children who become homeless that know what to do. So 3 times she emphasised, just get them off the streets. So that's what we're doing, and you'll find that everything to do with that is going to flow. So forget about the conference, we don't actually need it at the moment. It will come back to the 4-foot line. That is actually the 20-foot line. That's the one with the bankers, and we're going to need them to raise the venture capital, because that's a very expensive conference to put on. Whereas we can live stream it out of the top of a skyscraper anyway, so the expense of setting it all up is too hard. So we're changing direction, as I say. I just have my notes here, and we want to focus on helping our DigiGen, right? 6 to 16-year-olds, as I say. I'm not fucking a bit interested in working with anyone over age 16, except for my rappers, our musicians, our dancers, our backup singers, our tech crews, the virtual reality film production crews. Yes, I'm happy to work with them, even with our link break technology. So this is what I'm doing. Our Happy Training curriculum is the curriculum that everyone has to do before they can qualify for a lifetime cradle-to-grave employment and habitation contract. So our job is to help you DigiGen to do the Happy Training curriculum. You're going to love it, and we'll get you through it. And then we'll form you into personal learning networks where you can help each other. There'll be 21 of you that get through what we call the fast lanes, middle lane and the slow lane. Once you're in the slow lane, we'll put you into one of these PLN21s, personal learning networks, and we'll bring in a sponsor to buy you the license agreement to operate it. Our business teams will set it all up for you as a legal entity, and then to minimise your taxation, to run it for you from online. And meanwhile, the 21 of you just help your peers, that's your friends and young relatives, to learn what we teach you about the Happy Training curriculum. So if you all become happy because you've found your major goal in life, your purpose for living, right, you've discovered your pathway to happiness, right, and personal fulfillment. So that's all good, and then we get you to do a 10-point plan to attain it, looking at writing it down, also whether you believe in it, what the benefits are, obstacles that you're going to run into. You need a starting point, know what your starting point is, your target date, the people and organisations you need to be involved in, the extra education, all right, then you need a set of milestones or plans, activities to get through to the goal. And then you need to get some visuals, of what it's going to look like, put them on the wall. Now if you're a surgeon, well, get some pictures of surgery or doctors, put on your wall to remind you. So we'll teach you all that, and then we do a fast track module where we look at 9 different areas of life, actually 8 different areas of life for you, because you're not in the business unless you're in the PLN21. So we'll help you to get all your goals set in the 9 different areas of life, find the 3 most important, 9 times 3 is 27 most important goals for the next 12 months. And out of those 27 goals, there's 3 really important ones, and there's probably one there that's going to been holding you back, so we're going to knock that one out early. So we'll help you through that. Once you get through that, and we know you've done and achieved well, you'll get a lifetime cradle to grave employment and habitation contract, guaranteed employment when you turn 16. So the green corporations that are in charge of the construction of the sustainable village, sustainable cities, will be, it's not the Indigenous Peoples Learning Network, by the way, that's in charge of that, it's the green corporations. Those green corporations will then employ you and give you habitation, living in these wonderful sustainable villages and sustainable cities in paradise, in safe nations. So that's very good. That's still part of the vision. Everyone's got to stay in alignment with the vision and bring the vision to fruition. Now, what I'm doing is working with our rappers and our, these are the new breed virtual reality music superstars. And the happy training curriculum, I'm going to be putting them through. You can watch what we do with them. And by the way, back in 1998, the happy training curriculum was $1,000 an hour. All right, $1,000 an hour. So why would I give this to the older generations anyway? $14,000 is what they used to pay me up front before I started working with them. Minimum of $4,000. So it depended how many hours it took to put them through it. And I could work with 6 DigiGen over a 3-hour period. I would put through 6 DigiGen on the fast track program, and it took me up to 3 hours of putting a baby boomer through it, because they're meatheads. Hard to teach, not teachable, argumentative, instead of just following the system, which is really, really simple as, you just ask the questions, do it fast. First instincts, first thoughts, that's what you need to do. They won't do it, mate. So our systems, we don't want to work with them. $1,000 an hour, well, we want to work with them. But the DigiGen, our coaches will be happy to do it for you. If you're in a low income family, they can do it for you for free. Yeah, $1,000 an hour program for free. We're happy to do that. Well, because we know how hard life is when you're in a low income family. There's drugs and all sorts of problems there. Alcohol, all these darn addictions these older generations have, you've got to put up with. And in a lot of cases you've got to go without food because they're shooting it up their arm. So, and some of you have been tampered with, sexually bashed physically, and emotional cruelty to the max. So we're on your side. These sustainable villages, sustainable cities are for you, 80%. Interestingly, these older generations have a shot at me about it. You know how I come back at them with? I just say, hey, listen, if 80% of our communities are aged 6 to 16, in 20 years' time, how old are our members of our community? Right? 20 plus 6 is 26 years of age. Right? So the 16-year-olds will be 36. Still a young community, isn't it? 26 to 36 in 20 years' time. Now, if I put all these rotten baby boomers in, and they were 80%, not only have we got to put up with their obnoxious behaviour, lack of desire to improve themselves, lack of desire to change, lack of agreement in anything, and their pessimistic, cynical, bad behaviour we've got to put up with. Not going to happen because they're not getting in. Right, and think about it. If we put all these old goots in with the bad attitudes, they're not all bad. There's a few, about 5% are really nice. The rest are rotten. Now, if we put in 80% baby boomers, presently aged 54 to 72, in 20 years' time, how old are they going to be? 54 plus 20, 74, the youngest, 92, the oldest. congratulations, you just built yourself a retirement village at very high cost. And all the organs break down, so they need hip replacements, they need new kidney, liver, they need heart operations, you name it, they need it, or even brain aneurysms. Mate, the bills, I had a heart operation, it was $660,000. If 80% of our community, or even 10% of our community had to have a heart operation because they're old, aged 74 to 92, it's not sustainable. We can't afford those sort of medical bills, and most of them will be cantankerous anyway. They're going to give us hell. Forget about it. It's never going to happen. It's for the DigiGen. That's my gift to you. All right? So don't you worry about a thing. And remember what I said in that first 10-minute video. You need faith. You need hope. And you need love. You need faith in yourself, faith in your friends. Get good friends that you can have faith in. Faith in myself and our organisations, faith in our rappers that are going to be heroes and role models of decency and champions of human performance. Good role models for you to follow. Don't worship them though, that's a mistake. Accept that they're good leaders. You can follow their leadership, learn what they teach you, sing their music, dance, their dances. So that's all good, isn't it? So we are building these precincts for the DigiGen. Believe you me, I've done the research. We know we're not putting those rotten baby boomers in. 52, right? No, 54, then be 74 to 92. And you know what made me realise that? It wasn't because I'm smart, because I'm not. I used to live in this wealthy area in Netherlands, and I went down to the local, and this is an old school wealthy area of Perth. So most people were wealthy in the area. I went down, but they were old people. I love old people. Anyone over in the 70s, oh mate, I love them because they're not those rotten baby boomer generation. I was at 74. That rotten baby boomer generation, but the older generation prior to the baby boomer generation, I just love them. I love the old people. I don't care whether they're Chinese, Japanese, Mongolese, or whatever, I love them because we're taught to love them in our Maori culture, regardless of what race, religion, or whatever they are. We love the old people. I don't like that baby boomer generation. I'm one of them. So, anyway, what happened? I went down to the shops, and this was supposed to happen to make me aware. These shops were sort of like one lot of shops on this side, another on the other side, so it's sort of L shape. When I went in there this day, there was only about 10, maybe 12 shops in there. When I went in this day, there wasn't a person under the age of 75 except for me. There were old people everywhere. Some were with walkers, some were using walking sticks. One was helping another old person get out of a car. Others had those trolley things that drive. Yeah, but there was old people everywhere. It was like I was taken way into the future to see what our sustainable villages, sustainable cities were going to look like with old darn baby boomers everywhere. Oh, mate, with their obnoxious behaviour. I freaked out. Even though I love old people, this was like taking me to Mars or somewhere. This is, hey mate, this is old people everywhere. I get out of here. Yeah, it was like all this old energy. And I love old people, but I freaked. And I needed to see that, to know if we're building sustainable villages, sustainable cities, you've got to put in the 6 to 16-year-olds so that they remain as young, vibrant communities, not old communities where people need walking sticks, they need heart operations, livers, new hip replacement. Mate, it goes on and on and on. And they're in a lot of pain. We don't want to build communities with 80% of people in that state. And they've had their life. It's now time to live our vision, to bring it to fruition, was to create a happy future for our children and for our children's children, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. And we do that by building these sustainable villages, sustainable cities in paradise, where they live in true peace and security, zero debt, zero waste, zero emissions, zero poverty, and zero crime. And then we have the 4 factors of sustainability, which is social, cultural, ecological, and economic sustainability. So we need all those 9 factors, or zeros and factors, to make a happy community for our children and for our children's children. So away from the conventional towns and cities, which are going to become excessively violent, excessively cruel and nasty things happening, particularly with the drugs, which the drug distribution is being done by the government anyway. And we prove that, and we will prove it. So, what do you want to do? You want to stay living in these sort of precincts where the food is going to be, if you're spending $100 today, your food bill is going to be $500 to $1,000 this time next year. I'm telling you, call me to account on it. And your petrol price, you're spending $40, you're looking at $200 to $400 for the same amount of petrol you're getting today. Call me to account on it, 12 months' time. You'll see. Meantime, we're going to train the DigiGen to get the hell out of these cities, to get employment when you turn 16. Now, why am I focused on 16? 16 is the age that the Royal New Zealand Air Force recruits. Most of their personnel are at age 16. They're not adults. They don't go out and employ all the IT experts and employ all the trained mechanics and all that, because you've got to be retrained anyway in the military, in the New Zealand Air Force, because it's very high tech. It's way above any other technical crews or engineering facilities. The Air Force is the elite when it comes to engineering, and they have an open checkbook. When I was in it, our civilian counterparts were using what they call Sidchrome tools. We were using Star Woolly. Star Woolly was 10 times the price. That's the difference. Open checkbook. So the Air Force knows the best training, recruitment processes. And when you recruit at age 16, the DigiGen, when they turn 16, will give them guaranteed employment if they do our training programs, particularly the Happy Training Curriculum. At 16, you got employment. Come work for us in the Frontier Emerging Markets, or here in Perth in our University of Sustainability that we're setting up, or with us with the live streaming of the virtual reality music concerts, or the live streaming of the DigiGen entertainment and the educational based reality show that we're going to be doing. You'll be able to follow us. So that's just an update on where we're going. I've got to get around to talking about the concept of giving, so I might do that on the next video. I hope this helps you to see what we're doing, to bring you up to play on what the vision is about, how we bring it to fruition. And I want you, DigiGen, to remember that these rappers, I go in here, right here in my house, he's asleep. As we're working during the night, he was going through the videos, so he can rap it. Awesome, mate. So this is it. We're onto it, and it's going to get really, really exciting. So you just follow us on Instagram when we finally get around to going on Instagram and on YouTube. Follow these DigiGen videos that I'm doing here, and we'll get you as part of the vision, help you to discover your pathway to happiness and enjoyable, fulfilling employment, not working in a factory, right? Not digging ditches, doing things you love to do, which we find out through the Happy Training Curriculum, and we will look after you. All right, it's not about us, rotten baby boomer generation. It's about you. And when I bring in the rotten baby boomer generation, what's in it for me? Mate, who cares? Not interested in you. We're interested in our children and our children's children. Because you bunch of meatheads have ruined the planet by voting into power these governments that are crooked and corrupt, especially in the Western world. So there you have it. Stay with us, follow us on YouTube and Instagram when we go onto Instagram. And you'll see our rappers doing some real good rap and really good music.